Hi, everybody. This is Danny Class. One of the biggest questions a guitarist will ask themselves, I think, at some point is, what should I practice? Especially after you know some open chords, maybe some minor pentatonic scale positions, a couple songs that you wanted to hear. There seems to be a plateau that can set in for a lot of guitarists on how to sort of get past that and get to the next level, to get beyond sort of an advanced beginner to the intermediate stage. And so that is what we're going to be looking at today. I've got some suggestions for you that I think might help on how to get beyond that beginner stage, and more specifically, what should we practice to get better. And so I'm going to go through them, and also I've done some lessons on these already in my channel, so please feel free to check them out, and I think they'll be helpful. The first one I'd like to talk about is to memorize the fretboard. In order to do this, I did a video that will show you exactly how to go about doing that, but also we should ask ourselves why. What is the point? And for the fretboard, the point is that you'll be able to not kind of hunt and peck notes, but you'll be able to kind of see the map for music, for the guitar. And when you're playing something, you'll know what you're playing, and that'll help later on with some of the other suggestions. So that's the first one that I would suggest to you, to memorize the fretboard, which will take some time. It's not going to happen in a weekend. It'll take some time to do it, but it's definitely worth it. Okay, so the next suggestion I have for you is to memorize the circle of fifths, which is a kind of a cognitive map for music, for all of the keys, for all 12 keys. And the best way to memorize it, I think, is to actually say the notes of each key going around the circle of fifths. So for example, to actually say, and this can be considered practice, right? To say, okay, in the key of C, there are the following notes: C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And then go to the next key in the circle of fifths, it's the key of G, and then you'd say, in the key of G, there are these notes: G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, etc. That is, it might sound a little tedious, but that will help you because it makes things kind of more real, more intentional. And when you're actually playing the notes, the notes will reveal themselves to you, and it'll also help with the fretboard too. Okay, so the third suggestion I have for you, arguably the most important one, is to play and memorize the major scale. I did a lesson on this too for C. This is one fingering, but I would suggest you play and memorize all 12 major scales. Of course, that fingering shifts down to different positions depending on where you start. This can be helpful for so many reasons, but at the most, basic reason is that the major scale is sort of the foundational scale for other scales, including the pentatonic, the minor scale, altered scales, modes, etc. And so this will help you really sort of expand your playing, and I think get to the next suggestion, which is to memorize the system of diatonic harmony, which I did a lesson on also. But diatonic harmony is essentially every note of the major scale has a chord that goes with it in a formulaic way. And formulaic meaning not a bad way, but in a good way. And once you know that, you'll be able to construct your own chord progressions. You'll be able to construct your own music. And of course, memorizing the fretboard, the circle of fifths, and the major scale will all help with that. So that would be my fourth suggestion, would be to play the chords of diatonic harmony in the triad formula, and then in the seventh formula. And I did lessons on both of those. Okay, and so the fifth suggestion I have for you is to know and to practice chord construction, which can get complicated, but I would say do two of these. The first is a major triad, which is 1, 3, and 5. meaning the first, the third, and the fifth note of a major scale will give you a major chord. So in C, those are the notes C, E, and G. And play C, E, and G in multiple places across the fretboard. The other suggestion would be a minor triad, which is simply first, flat third, and a fifth. So if we're still in the key of C, that would be the notes C, D sharp, and G. And so same suggestion, play those in multiple places across the fretboard. And that is a way to construct and to practice chords. And once you're comfortable with C, try it in the other 11 keys. Okay, and hopefully by then you've started memorizing the fretboard and you'll know where these notes are. Okay, so those are the 5 suggestions, and I wanted to add one more, which is a 6th suggestion. And this suggestion would be something that you come up with as a player. Something that you don't need someone from YouTube telling you, or a friend telling you, or a teacher, but just something that you want to learn and that it matters to you for whatever reason that you should practice, which could be another theory technique like modes. It could be a actual right hand practice thing like maybe finger style, or getting speed up on your right hand, or hammer-ons and pull-offs and slides, or for that matter, a song by an artist that you like, that you'd like to learn. Something that matters to you. That would be the 6th suggestion I have. And this is important because it's kind of an authentic expression of your own sort of musical wants and desires, and that certainly has to matter. I mean, because that is sort of so much of my motivation for doing these lessons is to get people to kind of find their own authentic voice, their own authentic style, and their own authentic kind of way of playing that makes sense to them, whatever that might look like, So I hope you found this useful as a way to kind of get you going to the next level of playing the guitar with these suggestions. Of course, we could do more for more advanced levels, but this is, I think, a good way to kind of answer some of the questions you might be having. What should I practice? So thank you very much for watching. Stay well, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.